Hello, everyone. So today we are going to be doing a lesson on focusing on the poetry from the book Land of the Cranes that we just finished reading. You are going to be using your personal history to connect to the story that we learned from Land of the Cranes, and you're going to be creating your own poem that will be telling a personal story about yourself. So it's a really fun, challenging sort of assignment, but I know it's definitely nothing that you guys are not going to be able to do. This is going to be your exit ticket for today. So I really want to make sure you guys put all of your energy and thought into this, okay? Because I know you guys can do it. Even though it might be a little challenging, you guys can do it, okay? So, you're going to be creating your own poem. So before we begin, I want to read a poem that we had read before. And I want you guys to pay attention to the poem that I'm going to be reading. So I'm going to be reading or rereading the poem Between Sleep. I dream of Poppy flying alongside me. His bright black ojos glisten. I see his wavy hair pushed back by wind. Mommy is flying too, the egg under her. The park and freeways below, cars like ants. We are so high. All of us soaring. Then I see him fall sudden, with the sound like a firecracker. So loud it leaves a ringing in my ears. Then I fall too, though I flap my arms in a fever. So something I want us to talk about this poem, and I want us to point out a few things that we notice that stand out to us about this poem. Okay, so one thing that one of you mentioned is symbolism. Symbolism is used. The word flying is talked about a lot. And we discussed how flying was represented through the cranes flying to freedom, right? So flying. Also, something that you might notice is that not everything rhymed. So it's important to remember that when creating your own poem, that not every single word needs to rhyme. In fact, it would probably not make so much sense if every single word rhymed. So a lot of times we might be mistaken and think that for a poem to make sense, it has to rhyme, but that's not true. So if you notice with this poem, not everything rhymed, and there was still a story being told. And one more thing that you guys mentioned that you notice is the details in the poem. So if you notice when we were reading, there's no illustrations throughout the book of Land of the Cranes. So that's because the words that are being used create such a strong visual image in your head that really you don't really need pictures, you know? So I want us to create, so you're all going to be creating your own poem using your own family history. And this is going to be an exit ticket, like I mentioned earlier, for the day. So I want you guys to really think about a personal story or something that you had happen throughout your life so far. It could be a school story, it could be a family story, it could be a friend story, it could be a story about you waking up in the morning. It could be anything that means something to you and that you want to write a poem about. So, for example, I'm going to be writing my poem with you guys. But for example, I would pick a story of moving to college. So, a few things that I would want to include is moving away, saying goodbye to my family, and starting a new journey by myself. Because moving to college, I moved there by myself. I didn't know anyone, I didn't have any family there. And to me, I'm really close to my parents, so it was extremely hard. But I'm so thankful that I did it, and I've grown a lot as a person, and I've learned a lot. So that's something that I would want to create my poem based off of. So you guys are going to have about 10 minutes to create your own poem. And I want you all to really think about this. And once you're done, please turn it in. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, that is going to be our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed creating your own poem. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know.